You've drawn the shortest straw in the gift exchange. His dad.
The Kansas City Chiefs' black magic has finally disappeared and gone away as karma finally caught up to KC with Mahomes and Kelsey on the offensive side, Chris Jones on the defensive side with Andy Reid at the helm, as they will not be making the playoffs for the first time in quite a while, as they lost yesterday, been eliminated from playoff contention. Patrick Mahomes was injured late in the game on the final drive with a left knee injury. He tore his ACL. I mean, he should have used the knee brace that Meghan Trainor tried to give him in that State Farm commercial we've seen all season. As we all know, Patrick, he does sports. But NFL Week 15 will conclude tonight on December the 15th. We'll talk about the current playoff picture as we got 4 weeks left. As Monday Night Football this evening is in the Steel City. The 7-6 Pittsburgh Steelers host the 6-7 Miami Dolphins. I mean, shut the hell up already about that. If you want to add 2 to that 7, then we'll talk. But in the meantime, thanks for tuning in and listening to my NFL Miami Dolphin Pittsburgh Steeler live play-by-play watch-along reactions live right here on YouTube, audio only this evening. But I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cohen Luke 96. So once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Hit the red subscribe button, notification button to stay up to date. Links once again in the description below. Thumbs up button, share, hashtag L, hashtag Steelers, hashtag here we go. Check questions and comments, super chat, super stickers, super likes, super thanks. Always greatly appreciated. As well as this video is powered by Rogue Energy, HopeKThrifts, and Dead and Hungry. So with Rogue Energy, be sure to get your favorite energy and hydration flavors in Canner Tuck Form shakers and Rogue Energy merch at the link in the description below. Be sure to use the code Luke123, Luke123 for 10% off. HopeKThrifts, second resale shop that focuses on staying in the environment cheap and fashionable. As most times, $20 or less in clear brands like Mango, Converse, People, and Shein, among others. HopeKThrifts found on Depop, Instagram, Macari, and Poshmark. Yes, you guessed it, HopeKThrifts. It's HopeKThrifts. So be sure to use the message seller code CHEAPTHRIFTS, CHAPTHRIFTS, CHEAPTHRIFTS for 10% off. Link also in the description below. And then Dead and Hungry, an offer written by Nathan D. Mitchell. You can find it on Amazon just in time for the holidays. And once you do, go check that out over on Amazon. If that doesn't interest you, you might as well be what the title says. I also say, if there's a video, be sure to scan the QR code behind me, but with it being audio only, hence the black screen, you can instead, might actually be easier, but click the first top link in the description below, and then hit hype if available on your YouTube screen. So, Monday Night Football coming up here, top of the hour on ABC, ESPN, with Joe Buck, Troy Aikman on the call. Once again, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Quinn Luke 96. Miami Dolphins, they started 2-7, but they've won 4 in a row, so they're still technically in the playoff hunt. They got into the Steel City a little earlier than usual on Saturday for this Monday night game. Normally teams will fly in to wherever they're playing at the day before, but they came in 2 days prior, and then they practiced at Robert Morris University in the snow on Saturday night, as winter has been here for a solid month. From one snowstorm to the next, the 412, we got hit hard with the white stuff over these past 48, 72 hours or so. And it's going to be cold here tonight. We know how Miami plays on the road in the cold. You know, they're used to playing in some warmer weather than the about 15, 20 degrees it currently is. Obviously, it's only going to get colder as the game and the night progresses. But, yeah, they got to practice in the snow. Obviously, there's no snow in the forecast for this game tonight. It's just going to be cold as hell. But the Steelers, I might add, as Monday Night Countdown rolls on, they're just showing some highlights from previous matchups with these two, as the Steelers do lead the all-time series over the Miami Dolphins 15-14. As the home team has won the last 4 meetings, I might add, as well, as they will go over their picks, as Pittsburgh's a 3-point favorite, over-unders at 42. But I might add, the Steelers haven't lost at home on Monday Night Football since 1991. That is 22 straight home night football games for the black and gold. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. Probably still going to be your, typical Steeler game, down to the wire finish, defense needing a stop, as they'll take us from Monday Night Countdown to the pregame before we kick off here in a matter of minutes. But yeah, the Dolphins, they've lost 13 straight games with temperatures below 40 degrees. And it's a cold night in the Steel City as the Three Rivers of the Allegheny, Ohio emerge at the point, Heinz Field Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh, like 7-6, top of the AFC North after a bounce back win a week ago. They haven't won 2 in a row though since September, I might add. So take that for what it's worth. But all these stats, for that matter. I mean, players still got to go out and execute, make plays, and find a way to win. But Miami's, not won on the road in a while when it's cold out, but they're arguably one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. I guess winning 4 after starting 2-7, still technically in the playoff hunt. But yeah, the Steelers haven't lost at home on Monday Night Football since 1991. That's 22 straight home Monday Night Football games. It's actually the longest streak all time in NFL history. All time, ever. Okay? So, I mean, that has to also speak for something. But, the Steelers lead the all-time series against Dolphins 15-14. Home teams won the last 4 meetings. As all friends are coming over tonight. With both Cephas, Hank Williams Jr., but Chris Stapleton, Snoop Dogg giving us the intro. Steelers, -3 over under 42. Yeah, typical Steeler game I'd have to expect. We know how these games go, even with everything we talk about, leading up to it, during the game, and then, post-game. It's probably still going to be a down-to-the-wire finish. Defense needs to stop. TJ Watt out tonight. We'll get more into that in a minute. But yeah, ABC, ESPN, Joe Buck, Troy Aikman on the call. The yellow end zones, yellow gold end zones returning as the Pitt Panther football season is done and over with. They'll be playing in their bowl game, the Military Bowl, in a couple weeks. But Steelers going to be wearing their color rush uniforms here tonight as they'll host the Dolphins, just as they did 6 years ago, also Monday Night Football, and wore those same uniforms. The last time they met 3 years ago was also in prime time on Sunday Night Football. So, from prime time to the home team winning, here we are again. Here we go, Steelers, here we go. But, TJ Watt out tonight. Had an issue with a collapsed lung, so hopefully he's okay. Obviously, personally, with his health, compared to actually playing a football game. But they've said he's still going to be, as of now, expected to return at some point in time this season. Pittsburgh's at home tonight. Obviously, this time of year, regardless if you're home or away, unless you're playing inside, which they will next Sunday in Detroit against the Lions, it's going to be cold. So a lung issue, and then a short, from that happening last Wednesday till, tonight, Monday, that's, less than 7 days, a short week, basically, from when one game would be playing to the next. And, he'll be out tonight. They're really going to need Highsmith, who had the game-winning sack a week ago, along with Herbig and Sawyer, to step up tonight, coming off the edge. Derek Harmon's also out in the middle on the defensive line, as he's missed a few games as of late. But, they're talking about Miami coming into Pittsburgh and Braxton and snow. As Pittsburgh native, Pitt Panther legend Dan Marino, former Dolphin quarterback, arguably one of the best, if not the best, NFL quarterback to not win a Super Bowl, in the house here tonight, as Ben Roethlisberger also going to be honored with Marquise Pouncey and Joey Porter Sr. for the Steelers Hall of Honor at halftime, as they had the banquet this weekend. But, Pittsburgh, they got away. Exactly. Take care of business, or it'll sort itself out, and, we'll go from there. But, TJ Watt out tonight, but could, because the rumors, or at least the reports, are saying right now, he's expected to play at some point in time again this season, just a matter of when. They have Miami tonight. They go to Detroit and Cleveland before and after Christmas, and then host Baltimore Week 18. See what Mike Tomlin had to say here pregame. Yeah, they run football tonight, and they got to stop the run. Talent's one thing, but what you're willing to do is another. Yeah, they got to execute. They got to make plays. And Aaron Rodgers is used to playing in the cold. Tua from Hawaii, played at Alabama, been a Miami Dolphin his whole career. Yeah, not so much. And like I said, Miami, they've lost 13 straight games when the temperature's been below 40 degrees. About 15, 20 right now. Feels less than with the wind chill. Actually has the most interceptions in the NFL right now, with 14. So turnovers could be key this evening. Obviously, offensively, run the football, open up play action, drive and score, let Rodgers do his thing. But defensively, they got to stop this run, led by Devon Achane, and then get after Tua. Get after him, force pressure, sack him, just make them uncomfortable, and then, create and capitalize off turnovers. 14 interceptions going into week 15. That's an average of one per game, so make it 15 tonight. Hopefully, maybe more. We'll see. But as we'll move on here towards kickoff, Aaron Rodgers, last week post-game, said in response, to the question of the Steelers losing, the week prior, because they haven't won 2 in a row since September again. Consistency is key. They've been inconsistent, no doubt. But hopefully it'll mean you guys, shut the hell up for a week. Which got a lot of laughs, but
Experience the sense of
the Steelers did shut up the haters. They beat the Ravens atop the A North, back in first place. But that was one game. That was last week. This is another game tonight. This is this week. They got to take care of business, as the rest will hopefully sort itself out. So Miami tonight at the Lions, at the Browns, and the Baltimore Ravens, week 18. So they're home tonight, going on the road the next 2 weeks. Hopefully everyone has a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year in the meantime. Then they'll be back home week 18. And as I said, really, you look at the playoff picture. The only way they're going to make the playoffs is if they win the division and win the AFC North. And then they'll, for the most part, as they are right now, be the 4 seed and host the 5 seed in the wild card round in about a month. But yeah, playoffs will begin before too long. Still got a few games from now until then to have it shake out. But you know, we'll see if they're in it. If not, it's obviously on the next season at that rate. I mean, we'll see what happens. But Aaron Rodgers did become the oldest player to score a touchdown in Steelers history last week, I might add, as he now faces a former division rival from his time in New York with the Jets, as the black and gold Steelers host the Finns. Rodgers is 4-2 all-time against Miami. He averages 270 yards per game passing, along with 2 passing touchdowns as well. But the Steelers, they need to find a running game, though, tonight, as Jaylen Warren was questionable with an illness, but he is active and will play this evening. DK Metcalf stayed in a Baltimore hospital after last week's game, but has since returned. And as the Star Spangled Banner was written in Baltimore, we now have the national anthem of the United States of America. And I'll shut up and we'll get back into this in a minute. USA, 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 as we're a week and a half away from Christmas. Hopefully everyone has a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. But Monday Night Football, Steelers hosting the Dolphins. As I was saying, Jaylen Warren was questionable around lunchtime with an illness, but he is active, will play tonight. I mean, we'll see how much of a workload he does get. But, I mean, I would think since you're active, he's going to be playing his, normal amount of snaps. We'll see. Obviously, Kenny G, Kenneth Gainwell, and then Ricky Caleb Johnson out of Iowa. Been getting a little bit more playing time as the season has gone on. But, yeah, DK Metcalf stayed in the Baltimore hospital after last week's game, but has since returned. He seems okay. Darnell Washington got hurt last week, had a concussion. He's since cleared concussion protocol. And he's also expected to play tonight as well. But as I was saying earlier with TJ Watt, he was hospitalized in Pittsburgh on Wednesday and stayed overnight. At first, it was reported for a lung evaluation after some discomfort in practice. Nobody really knew anything else. And then Thursday, it came out that he underwent surgery on Thursday to repair partially collapsed lung. So obviously, best wishes. Get well soon. Hopefully he's okay. I mean, health is way more important, especially for a lung issue, because I mean that's other than your heart beating and your blood pumping, you need your lungs to breathe. So that's way more important than football. But he's out tonight, unfortunately, because of that for this game on Monday Night Football against the Miami Dolphins. But like I said, he's expected to play again this season. You know, when that is, against who that is, right now, I can't tell you that because I don't know. I don't even think they know. So only time will tell. We shall see. But yeah, hopefully they can get healthy overall as collective, as Mike Tomlin likes to say, the full entire team, and continue to take care of business. But it's next man up, and find a way to win. And hell, Phillip Rivers just returned to the National Football League at 44. Steelers did have their Hall of Honor ceremony this weekend, headlined by Ben Roethlisberger along with Marquise Pouncey and Joey Porter Sr. So I'm not saying to give anyone, in particular a call, to come play. It's just, do your job and execute. You're on the team for a reason, so go out and make plays and once again, see what happens here tonight. Talk about the injuries. Yeah, TJ Watt's out, so need Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig, and Jack Sawyer to step up coming off the edge. Derek Harmon's out in the middle of the defensive line. James Pierre's out in the secondary. On the offensive side, Roman Wilson's out once again at wide out, but Thielen and Marquez Valdez-Scantling both active at wide receiver as the Steelers kick off to begin this game. Miami on the return. They will have a 1st and 10 here, 6 seconds in. And here comes Tua and the Miami Dolphin offense, 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. But more injuries. As we know, Broderick Jones on IR at left tackle for Pittsburgh. His backup, though, Andrews Pete, injured last week, which means as he's out once again, Dylan Cook will start at left tackle. But on the opening play of the game, the Steelers defense will give up a 1st down. So Tua on a play action rollout near side. Hits the tight end in the flat. He's wide ass open. And Pittsburgh finally able to wrap him up. See where they spot this at. 46-yard, 47-yard line. Yeah, 20-yard play on the first play of the game. So Miami's going right to left. Across your television screen right in on dial. Tua on the fake toss near side. And then dumps it off. And then he runs into his blocker. And then has to run out of bounds. So it'd be 2nd and 11, it looks like. But, we'll see here if this Steeler defense can just not stop the run, but cover the pass over the middle. We know how defensively they've played this season, for the most part at times. Just overall as a team, they've been inconsistent. They can't maintain momentum. Keep whatever, rhythm they have built up on their side. But Devon Achane to the 50, it'll be 3rd down. But, Jalen Ramsey on the Steeler defense now, as Minka's back on the team that drafted him in Miami. See him out there in a minute, but obviously had been a Steeler since 2019, but traded back to South Beach this past summer for Ramsey and Jonnu Smith, who, really hasn't done a hell of a lot. But, those 3 players playing against their former teams this evening. But, I don't really, care who you are, what kind of, is that pass incomplete, plays you've made in the past. You got to make plays in this game because that's the only thing that matters. Steelers will force a punt after giving up a big play on the first play of the game. So offensively, they'll get the ball back here, but you still got to execute, okay? It's, a team sport. You're going to win as one, you're going to lose as one. Talk about special teams here. Steelers on the punt return. So Miami and their road Whites will kick it deep. And it's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback. So 1st and 10, Pittsburgh from the 20. But yeah, offense, defense, special teams. Balance, consistency, momentum, rhythm. And break before the Steeler offense takes the field. So they'll fade to black, and we'll get back to it here in a minute. Just once again, tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. But yeah, this offense, it starts up front. Dylan Cook starting at left tackle for Broderick Jones and Andrews Pete because they're both hurt. You got Oos at left guard, Frazier at center, and then McCormick has played extremely well at right guard, and then obviously Trifton at right tackle. But you got to be able to block, okay? You got to be able to run the football. You got to be more consistent at it, at least. They really didn't have a run game last week, but we're still able to somehow score a couple rushing touchdowns. Don't ask me, how. I mean, if you saw the game, you know what I'm talking about. But the only thing that matters in the stat book is the final score. But got to protect Rodgers. There's been times this season they've done that well. Really have been sacked a lot. Then there's been other games he's been sacked a few too much. So, like I said, it's consistency. They got to be more consistent in all phases. Offense, defense, special teams, but it's balance, consistency, momentum. Okay? You get a lead. You want to try to maintain it as best you can. Run the football, work clock, so on and so forth. Obviously, it just depends on the situation, but yeah, they got to run the football tonight. They got to stop the run. They got to get after Tua, and then turnovers. Create and capitalize off of those. But obviously, take your points, while you can get them. But as we all know, got to quit settling for three all the goddamn time and, score a touchdown. It once again just depends on the situation. So I'll leave it at that as we are underway here. Dolphins punt from midfield. Steelers ball at the 20. So they'll show off the playoff picture. And like I said, we'll talk more about that later, depending on what happens. But Pittsburgh's got to not blow it, especially if they get a halftime lead. But early first quarter here from the 20, 1st and 10. Rodgers will fake the give, roll out near side, dump it off, and for about a yard to the former Dolphin, Jonnu Smith. So, yeah, they talk about the trade that the Steelers sent Minka Fitzpatrick back to South Beach for Ramsey and Jonnu Smith. I think it's worked out for both sides. Minka's been playing well, and his biggest thing was, as of late, he couldn't stay healthy. But he's playing well defensively for them. I mean, he knows this Arthur Smith offense, but then, Aaron Rodgers wasn't the quarterback for the Steelers whenever he was in town. So, 2nd and 9, handoff, and Gainwell gets a yard, maybe if he's lucky. 3rd down coming up. But obviously one thing at a time. But yeah, just, and we'll see what happens. I'll leave it at that. So from the 22, third down, out of an empty set, 5 wide. Miami might have jumped off sides. And then they complete it to Gainwell, but he's short of the marker. Be fourth and about a yard. You got a punt from inside your own 30 here early. Play field position. Rely on this defense. No surprise there. But it's just going to be until somebody does something. One of those games, defense bending and not breaking. Steelers will punt. And it's going to bounce, take a roll, be picked up, and return to the 30. So they can take another commercial break, or they're going to stick with it. Yeah, coming up, we'll be back. So, a couple minutes in, 2 punts by both teams, and we're tied at 0. So we'll get back to the action momentarily. Once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to social media. Links in the description below. First and 10, Dolphins from the 29-yard line. 2 up under center, out of the eye. They'll run the football. And a good 7 yards or so there. So, yeah, the Steelers defense got to stop the run tonight. Make them one-dimensional, and then get after them. But we've seen the Steelers defense again a little in the past this season. They can't stop it and they can't cover it. So it could be a long night if Miami gets rolling. But they are without Tyreek Hill. He's been out for quite some time with a season-ending injury. But Jalen Waddle, the Penguin, bottom of your screen, likes the cold. They'll toss H-Han, and there he goes. And then Jalen Ramsey, the former Dolphin, his former teammate, hits him, picked him up, didn't want to slam him down, but wanted to slam him down. But Ingold with a good block at fullback. Former Badger and Raider. You got to get off your block. Got to stop this run. And then Ramsey able to wrap them up. But it'll be 1st and 10 here for the Finns. You get out past midfield on that, right at the 50 again. Tua looking to throw down the middle. Caught now. It's a first down into Steeler territory. Speaking of the devil, Jalen Waddle at the 40 for a Miami Dolphin first down. So they move the sticks on the cusp of field goal range. They're going to try to take an early, road lead. Ramsey and Herbig on the stop. So 1st and 10 here for MIA. Steelers right now. Also, MIA. Fake the give. Tua, deep ball near side. It's underthrown and it's picked off. Talked about the interceptions. He had 14 of them coming into the Week 15 game. May get 15 in 15 weeks. That's an average of 1 per game. Steelers defense gets a turnover. They got to capitalize off of it. Okay? They got to capitalize off of their mistake. They got to make them pay. They got to score. There's momentum for you. It's Asante Samuel Jr. Yes, that Asante Samuel. His father played in the NFL for a while. He was at Florida State recently with the LA Chargers. Pittsburgh picked him up off of waivers a little over a month ago. They actually released Juan Thornhill to pick him up off of waivers. And then he took the 22 as well, might add. So, no, that wasn't Juan Thornhill. It was Asante Samuel Jr. on the interception. But like I said, James Pierre is out tonight. That's why Asante Samuel Jr. is getting a little bit more playing time this evening as well. And just balls underthrown. I didn't see who it was intended for, but it was underthrown near side. And Johnny on the spot, Asante Samuel Jr. Steeler ball, 20, 25, 30-yard line, give or take. And got to make them pay, especially when they just got out on the right side of the 50 into, Steeler territory looking to, strike first and score on you. You got to capitalize off this turnover and score on them now. So they got to get this run game going, though. It starts up front. They got to run the football. Just from Warren to Gainwell to Johnson. More so the first two. Run the screen game, though, too. Run the screen game. Just keep it simple, but let Aaron Rodgers do his thing. And got to get these tight ends the ball more. Obviously, that first play pass was, complete Johnny Smith, the former Dolphin. So we're getting him, moving early. I wouldn't say often just yet, but, Pat Freiermuth really hasn't been a part of this offense this season. Darnell Washington's come on strong. With as big as he is, at 300-plus pounds, 311 to be exact, at tight end, not line, tight end. And then, he got hurt last week, but clear concussion protocol, and now he's, back. So him going, they have, receivers get the football too at wide out. So just balance and consistency, okay? You got to make them pay. Ball at the 19-yard line officially, 1st and 10. They'll toss Jalen Warren. He'll cut and get to the 25. He's down. Ground cannot cause a fumble. Ball did pop out, but Miami thinks they recovered it when they're just, not knowing the rules. Yeah, ground cannot cause a fumble. He's clearly down. It'll be 2nd and short here for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh will run it again right at the first down marker. It looks like it's going to be 3rd and short. And all of Tua's 15 interceptions this season have been against zone defense. So 15 interceptions in 15 weeks. That's average of 1 a game. But all against zone. So, I mean, normally the good quarterbacks, if you're playing zone defense, they'll stand back and, pick your ass apart. But that's why you want to man up defensively and, it's every man for himself. But Pittsburgh on 3rd and 1 will sneak it. It doesn't look like they got it. It'll be 4th and inches. And do they go for this, or do they punt and play field position and not able to do anything off the interception? Yeah, I'd punt too, Troy. Play field position. You just got an interception. Obviously, you go for this. Don't get it. They got a short field. Then they're going to sneak it again. And, okay, they will get that, so it does pay off. And they'll maintain possession and keep this drive going. But they get the run game going, okay? Let Rodgers do his thing. Start airing the ball out. Let's open this offense up a little bit. Maybe take a shot. First play of the game a week ago, they went deep. But points off of turnovers, 9 times out of 10, are differences on whether you are winning or losing football games. So Pittsburgh goes for it on 4th and short. They get it. Rodgers looking to throw left, comes back right on the screen. And Gainwell back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10. So it's one of those games here early. I mean, it's cold, but then it's also, you're revved up and, ready to go. You also got to, relax and, still one thing at a time. Empty set here, 2nd and 10. I don't know if it's colder than they were expecting playing-wise to be, but pass down the middle, caught at midfield, DK Metcalf, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh, but it's just early. It's one of those games, until these teams get going, it's going to be slow and steady wins the race. But as Miami had a 20-yard play on their first play of the game, Pittsburgh on 2nd and 10, Rodgers, over the middle, just finds DK Metcalf wide open with the former Steeler Minkah Fitzpatrick on the coverage, actually down at the 48 of Miami. So 1st and 10 from there. They'll run a draw, Jalen Warren, and all right, he'll lower the shoulder for about 5. So 2nd down and medium, 2nd and manageable. Obviously, they already went for it on 4th and short earlier in this drive. They're going to be into field goal territory here soon. They'll have a decision to make on if, obviously, you still want to go for it or, you want to settle for 3 and take your points. As I said, you want to take your points while you can get them. Don't know what you're going to need later on, but it's also you got to quit selling throw goddamn time and score touchdowns. It just depends on the situation and the flow of the game. Handoff, Warren, and maybe a yard, maybe 2. So 3rd down. They say 3rd and 2. It's 3rd and longer than 2. It's 3rd and 3. Gainwell to Rodgers right, trips top your screen. Rodgers looking near side, and it's incomplete, 10 for Calvin Austin. They're going to go for this again? Well, shit, I mean, I don't think kicking on a very long field goal now. Do you punt and play field position and pin them deep? Rely on the defense some more. But once again, remember, they already went for it on 4th and inches, but this is 4th and 3. Maybe try to draw them off sides. Obviously, 5 yards is the first down if you get them to jump. But they'll be in the gun. Quick snap. Wide open in the flat far side is Kenny G, making noise as he gets out of bounds for Pittsburgh Steelers first down. So they'll move the sticks. You definitely got to get points now on this drive, one way or another. Comes down to it, kick it. But you're inside the 35, looks like 32, 33-yard line. Looking at a 50-yard field goal from here, give or take. Rodgers with the point of a first down signal. Yeah, ball 32-yard line, 1st and 10. You got to score. One way or another, you should have 3 or 7 points on the scoreboard after this drive's over. Handoff Gainwell, he's going to lose a yard. 2nd and 11. So, I mean, credit to Miami's defense. They read that from the get-go. But scheme-wise, I mean, just get the hell open. Rodgers going to find you. Looking to throw. They run the screen. Warren cuts, and then Chop Robinson, the former Nittany Lion, with a big hit. And no gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and long. So just as they do something, it's 2 steps back. So 3rd down. Just, get something positive. If it's a first down, even better. But, make this field goal attempt a little shorter than what it's going to be. Don't take a sack. Don't take a fucking sack. God damn it. Son of a bitch. Now they're definitely going to have to punt and pin them deep. When you just had a 50-yard kick, now it's going to be close to 60. If not longer than that. And that's a very fast first quarter, I might add, as well. And he knows better to throw that ball away, but he didn't. But it's the pressure, credit to the Dolphin defense. They got to him. With the coverage, as obviously Pittsburgh 3rd and 11, it's a pass play, unless you're on a draw or on a screen. But they wanted to seemingly hit a home run. So I said, just get something positive if you're not getting a first down. Make the field goal shorter. No, they lose yards on the sack. And back, 45-yard line? So, yeah, you're definitely punting now. When this try is not going to result in a damn thing. And it's still 0-0. And, yeah, very fast first quarter. Both teams did have the ball twice. But these defenses early are making stops. Pittsburgh even had 2 4th down conversions on that drive. And they still can't score points. That's just pathetic. So we'll see what happens. But it's early, a lot of football to be played. Just frustrating because you get the turnover. The drive looked dead on 2 different occasions. And then you convert on those 4th downs. And then you get into 3rd and long. And you don't make it 3rd and shorter than what it is. You make it 4th and longer than it just was. And you don't get points out of it. So now you're going to have to punt and play field position, pin deep, and make them drive. So, yeah, start of the second quarter when we come back. Obviously, as always, we'll recap Week 15, preview Week 16, have stats and scores as well, so stay tuned for that. But they're going to promote the 2026 NFL Draft this upcoming spring, actually in Pittsburgh. But tonight, we're going to conclude Week 15 with Monday Night Football, hopefully with a Steeler win. But 15 minutes in, we're tied at 0. It's 4th and 20 officially for Pittsburgh. And it's the Steelers' 6th straight game, scoring 7 points or fewer in the first quarter. Steelers punt also going to be down to the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Dolphin offense again, and see if the Steeler defense get another turnover off. But they had their chances there to, get some points off turnover. They couldn't. So what can you do? Just stop the run and get after them. From the 20 handoff, and 2 yards up the middle. 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 out of the pistol. And pass far side, caught. And Darren Waller back from injury. Gets a first down, it looks like. Yep, they'll give it to him. So they run Devon Achane, and he gets a good 4 or 5 yards or so there. So another 2nd down and manageable for him. Achane, played at A&M. College football playoff starts this weekend. But yeah. From the 35, 2nd and 5. Handoff. And a good 3 yards. 3rd and 2. Now some pushing and shoving. As Land Clark, our white capper, will break that up. We have yet to have a penalty, I might add, which is a little surprising, but all right, yeah. 3rd and 2 from the 38. They need the 40. Motion man far side. And Tua looking to throw. Going to step up, tuck it, and run. Slides. Patrick Queen on the stop. They're not going to give it to him. He's going to be short. It'll be 4th and inches because of where he started to slide. That's just the roll. See a replay here. Yeah, he started to slide. He's clearly short. Yeah, that's a good call. Yep, it's a good spot. So now Miami with a special teams unit on the field will line up the punt. But now delay a game on Miami. Okay. So Lan Clark, our white capper this evening, official referee, with the first penalty of a delay a game for the Miami Dolphins. And I'm sure his cousin's not happy right now, but back him up 5 yards on 4th and inches. They're definitely not going to fake this now. They'll punt and also play field position. So Miami will punt. Pittsburgh back deep to receive. Calvin Austin at the 29 and gets decked as soon as he catches it. So no gain, obviously, on the return. And Steeler ball first and 10 when we come back. 11:04 to play in the half. We're still tied at 0 with the Miami Dolphins and Pittsburgh Steelers in Monday Night Football. So 1st and 10 Steelers from the 29 after the Dolphin punt. Still tied at 0. So Pittsburgh having to, unfortunately, punt on the last drive because they, as Warren breaks a run out past midfield, 1st and 10, that's a spark for the offense. Got to capitalize off of it now. Flag on the play, though. Might be coming back for a hold. God damn it. Holding on the offense. On Jonnu Smith. 10 yards, I'll replay it down. Son of a bitch. See a replay of it, see if it was a good call or not. Maybe a little bit, I don't know. It opened the hole up a little bit more. So that's clearly why they called it. But, yeah, big run out past midfield, but the holding call brings it back to the 19-yard line. 1st and 20. Adam Thielen on a check down over the middle. But yeah, Steelers on the last drive had to punt when they should have had points. Miami didn't do anything off of it. So Steelers getting the ball back here. Darnell Washington will not go down. Crowd turning into a fan favorite for sure. 6'7", 311 for a tight end. He's not 264. He's 311 pounds. He said it himself. Yeah, he's a weapon for sure. I mean, that's a 45, 50-pound difference of what they have him listed at to what he actually weighs. You know. But yeah, he didn't go down on that. It's 3rd and 4. Rodgers gets sacked again, though. He got hit so hard on the sack, his chin strap came unbuckled. So now they're going to have to punt again. So it's just a punt contest here in the first half. You're not missing anything if you're just now tuning in. But, yeah. Had a couple guys over the middle, you know, on checkdowns, but you got to throw the ball. So Corliss Waitman kicks it deep. And punt's going to be down around the 30. Yeah, neither offense has done jack shit. Steelers, as Joe Buck Troikman just said, 3 drives, 3 punts. Miami's had the ball as many times. 2 punts and an interception. Miami getting the ball back when we come back. 8 minutes and change to play in that first half. But 0. So just the way it is until, hey, shit. I mean, we might have another Steeler 3-0 win on Monday Night Football at home against the Miami Dolphins on our hands here tonight for all we know. It's not raining and it's not muddy by any means. It's just cold as shit. But 0-0 here as we near halftime. Pittsburgh, my dad, will get the ball back to begin the second half as well. So hopefully they can get a stop here, do something before halftime, and, you know, score then again early third quarter, but we'll see. Fins from the 31. They'll run Devon Achane near side and Malik Harrison on the tackle. It does look like Hallie Long, doesn't it? Compared to Mike McDaniel, that definitely looks like it has nothing to do with this game. Former Raider. NFL on Fox, but then Joe Buck and Troy Aikman used to work for Fox, and then, yeah, take that as a compliment for what it's worth. Second and 6 from the 35. Tua fakes the run, pump fakes, and then throws it out of bounds, incomplete. Third down coming up. Next week, their ESPN's graphic department will make fun of Joe Buck and Troy Aikman whenever they want somebody to look like, say, fill in the blank, but then it instead, just to get back at them. From the 35, third down. Come on, defense. Tua, going to roll out. And over the middle, it's caught. God damn it. Peyton Wilson ends up wrapping him up. But they get deep into Steeler territory again. That's not surprising. First third down conversion by either team tonight. Steelers converted a couple times on fourth down, but still no points. And I just waited for him to keep running over the middle and get open. Tua found his receiver. And, yeah, Asante Samuel Jr., Jalen Ramsey, Olsen on the stop. First and 10, Miami at the 41 of the Pittsburgh Steelers. They'll run it out of the offset eye and a gang tackle in the middle of the field. Second down. From the 37, they'll run it up the middle, and it'll be third and about a yard. Come on, defense. Get a fucking stop. Let's go. Third and 1, tackle for loss on Patrick Queen, or for Patrick Queen on the Miami defense, or Miami running back, excuse me. So the Steeler defense makes the stop, and now he's slow to get up. Might have got the wind knocked out of him. Ollie Gordon from Oklahoma State, especially with the weather the way it is and a big hit like that. So fourth down. They'll probably kick it. It'll be a long field goal, but they'll probably kick this, I'd have to think. Dolphins are going to attempt the field goal. Some Steelers had the chance to do, but Rodgers took the sack, and then it was 4th and long. They had to punt. Dolphins didn't do anything, but the Steelers didn't do anything, so they had to punt again. This is the following Miami drive. It's going to be a 54-yard attempt, and the kick is going to be just good. So the Finns take an early 3-0 lead as near halftime. Snooze fest between these two teams. Close defense showdown. But yeah, 5:11 to play in the half. Steelers now down 3-0. We get the ball back here. Obviously 3 timeouts, 2-minute warning. Hopefully they can go score here before halftime. The ball back to begin the second half, I might add as well. Maybe you do something then. Potentially go up 2 scores. If you're not still hopefully down 3-0 or tied at 3 or up 6-3. 7-3, 10-3. Obviously 1-score games, but 14-3. You can get 2 touchdowns here in the next, say, 10 minutes. 5 minutes before halftime, 5 minutes. Early third quarter. You'll have a 2-score lead then. Up 11, mid-third quarter by the time they get the ball back. And then the pressure's on, with hopefully from the defense making, some more stops. I mean, they forced a kick there. You obviously could have had a, field goal yourself a little bit ago, but took the sack and gone out of field goal range, so then you had to punt. But just if you do get a lead here at halftime, don't blow it. So we've seen, so far this season, over the past month and a half or so, they've had leads at halftime. They've done an okay job at maintaining that and then finding ways to win. But then they also lost to the Packers, lost to the Bears, lost to the Bills. So, yeah, just we'll see what happens on this next drive, and then we'll get into it from there. But 3-0 Miami here, 5:11 to play in the half. Pittsburgh ball when we come back with 3 timeouts and 2-minute warning. Thanks once again for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to the media below. So that ball did not make the landing zone. So ball going to be spotted at the 40-yard line, 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. So 1st and 10 here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Bubble screen complete, and Jonnu Smith lower in the shoulder gets the Steeler first down before he gets out of bounds. He says hello to his former teammates, says he gets first down for his new team. So they're getting Jonnu Smith going tonight, that's for sure. A couple catches now for him. From midfield, 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. Thielen in motion. Hurry up. Got to go. Snap off, hand off Jalen Warren. So it seemed like they audibled out of a potential pass play into a quick run there with Warren middle. And he gets, some positive yards to make it second in the manageable. Second down here. Second and 6 officially. They'll fake the run. Rodgers rolls out, complete. Darnell Washington, lower in the shoulder, gets a first down, and another 5 yards, and they'll move the sticks. And Steeler Nation waving the terrible towels. Here we go, Steelers, here we go. Yeah, just wide open. Mercedes Lewis. From the 35, first and 10. Empty set. Rodgers, quick slant, complete. And Gainwell, first down, gets out of bounds as well. So, all right. Clock will stop for a minute and they'll wind it. But now under 3 to play. Steelers down 3. But, crucial drive here to potentially get some points. Just think if they already have 3 points on the, drive off the interception. But, took the sack, had to punt. Miami didn't do anything. Pittsburgh didn't do anything. But then Miami kicked the field goal. Here's the Steeler drive now. Timeout Pittsburgh as the play clock was winding down. Make sure they're set, get everything right. But under 3 to play this first half. And you're hoping to get points here before halftime. But, yeah, just imagine they had already the 3 points. You're looking to just not be down 3, tied, and then, taking a lead, a little extending your lead. But you could, obviously take your first lead now if you're tied up. But then points now and then points early third quarter. Pressure's on Miami to do something. So Rodgers up under center. Gainwell in the backfield. And they'll toss. Kenny G gets 5 yards out of bounds far side. All right. Got to keep it one. One thing. Be second and 6 officially. From the second and 6. And a late whistle. And we've hit the 2-minute warning. So timeout on the play, on the field, and we'll get back to it in a minute. Dolphins lead the Steelers 3-0 with 2 minutes to play in the first half. from the 20 here. Second down for Pittsburgh in their home black and gold color rush uniforms. They run a late delayed screen. And Gainwell gets about a half yard or so away from the first down. So third and short. Okay, Dolphins took a timeout. I was wondering what the delay was for. So they'll have 2 left here. I'm going to try to get the ball back if they can, because they might not touch it again until, mid-third quarter, depending on what happens in this drive and then the Steelers' opening third quarter drive, because Pittsburgh will receive once again to begin the second half. But got to get points here. Got to get points. You're at least tying it up, with a field goal if it comes down to it. So, Troy Aikman, Santa Claus, and Joe Buck's one of the reindeer, it looked like, in that sign. I'm sure social media will have their say on what they think it looked like. That's why Troy didn't want to say. But anyways, I'll digress. Third and short. Group 19 set high. They'll toss Jalen Warren. And I don't know. I don't think he got it. And Miami calls another timeout. So now what does Pittsburgh do? Do they kick this and tie it up at 3, or do they still go for it on 4th and inches to hope to get a first down? Obviously, if you don't get anything on this drive again. That'd be 2 drives. You could have field goals. You have no points to show for then. But then if you convert first down, you might score a touchdown, but you still might have to settle for field goal. So Miami timeout. Pittsburgh going to think about it here. We'll see what happens. Looks like the Steeler offense is going to stay out in the field and go for it. At least line up to. Maybe draw them off sides. And they'll run this sneak they like to use with Connor Hayward, tight end, and they'll get the first down. So they're 0-6 on third down, but they're 3-3 on fourth down tonight. And 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. You definitely got to score now. If it's still, a field goal at the end of it, then so be it. You still got to kick it. But you got to score a touchdown, man. You got to take a lead. And then he signals first down. As the Dolphins call their third and final time, I might add as well. So 1st and 10, Pittsburgh, timeout, Miami. See, a minute 28 to play in the half. Pittsburgh can now drain this clock if they really want to with a new set of downs. Hope to score, obviously, because, Miami doesn't have any timeout. Spencer Anderson, 74, is eligible. Line up on the left side. So jumbo package, fake the run, roll out, Rodgers all day to throw. And then dumps it off near side, Kenneth Gainwell. He gets a first down inside the 5. It'll be 1st and goal. Got to punch it in. Got to score a touchdown. Got to score a damn touchdown. Let's go. So first and goal at the 4. He did get out of bounds, so the clock stopped with 1:21. They'll toss it, Gainwell near side, and no gain on the play. Penalty comes in from the secondary, I might add. So we'll see what that dirty laundry is here from the Zebras. And it'll be a face mask on Miami. 15 yards on my first down, but it's half the distance. Still first and goal. Got to punch it in. Let's go. Score a touchdown. Let's go. From the 2, first and goal. Red whiz, red whiz, red whiz. Turbo said hi, and they run a draw, Jalen Warren, and they're going to say he's short at the 1 before the ball reached across the goal line, so to speak, in the end zone. But yeah, Miami doesn't have any timeouts, and Pittsburgh can drain this clock. Yeah, his ass is down right there. Yeah, he's clearly down. It'll be second and goal from that spot right there. So, second goal from the 1. 50 seconds and counting. And they'll run a draw again up the middle. Jalen Warren. He'll try to back his way in. No, nothing. Be third and goal. Maybe call a timeout here. You got less than 30 seconds now. Third and goal. If not, go hurry up. I think there's a timeout. Yeah, timeout Pittsburgh. So third and goal from the 1. 21 seconds. Obviously, you don't punch it in. You still have one more timeout to then decide if you're going to drain the clock. Go for it on fourth and goal. You don't get it, then you're basically at halftime. Or to then drain the clock and kick it. So timeout here in the meantime. Third and goal from the 1. You got to score a touchdown. You got to score a goddamn touchdown. You got to punch this in. Get up under fucking center and run the damn ball. Quit running these draws on goal to go from the 1. Run that sneak again, for God's sakes. They will. And they punch it in, touchdown Steelers. Miami said the ball came out or he didn't get in, one of the two. But signal is from the line judge, touchdown. And Connor Hayward with a 1-yard rushing touchdown. As they have yet to convert on third down on either 3 of 3. Well, that is technically the first third down conversion. It was third and goal from the 1, but anything else third down wise, nothing. 3-3 on fourth down, though. But then they run that sneak again. It's Pittsburgh's version of Philly's tush push, the quarterback sneak. And it doesn't even involve a quarterback. They get the Hogs up front. And just Vince McMahon loves big, sweaty guys. I get it's very cold out. But Steelers lead 7-3 here, 17 seconds to play in the first half. Going to get the ball back to begin the second half, I might add as well. So momentum going into halftime. Halftime lead right now. Well, lead as we near halftime right now. Don't blow it. We'll get more into that at halftime. But just bodies upon bodies, just pushing forward, and then Miami's defense obviously trying to push back, and it's leverage, It's all it is. You got to keep your feet moving. But and obviously the Steelers do. There's been a couple different versions of the quarterback sneak tush push now. Like I said, Philly has theirs with Jalen Hurts. I mean, there's always been the quarterback sneak, but Philly has their version of it. Or ran one on a, what was it, with Mark Andrews at tight end. Who are they playing in that game? I forget, but anyways, he spun and just took off as he got the snap. Sort of basically as he was running option. I mean, Philly ran another version of it. They ran a pitch out of it. But Pittsburgh's version of this quarterback sneak tush push is, like I said, doesn't even involve a quarterback. Rodgers just stands back as if it's like a kneel down, like he's playing safety position in the backfield. And they get all the big guys up front, from the linemen, tight ends. And then Hayward's been up under center and, just pushing from behind and just get your ass in the end zone. And they do just that. So, I mean, they could have more points on the board, no doubt about it. They had a drive in which, they could have scored off of the turnover, but couldn't. But then Miami eventually took a 3-0 lead. Pittsburgh just responded with a touchdown. And we'll see if Miami does anything with these final 17 seconds or not. I doubt it, but we'll see. Boswell kicks off. And it'll be down to the end zone for a touchback. So they'll probably just take a knee, I'd have to guess. They have no timeouts, 17 seconds. I mean, you don't want to do anything stupid. Cost yourself. But maybe they do try to do something, get out of bounds. And, I mean, 17 seconds, no timeouts. If you can get out of bounds, you might got 2, maybe 3 plays. They can take a commercial break. No, they'll stick with it. But, the Steelers, once again, are getting the ball back to begin the second half. So Miami will line up to run a play from the 35-yard line, 1st and 10. But it's going to be a run. So, and Devon Achane gets to the 42 for 7. So, add those to the stat book, but that's about it. And we'll hit halftime. Steelers, the Dolphins, 7-3, 30 minutes in here this evening. So Pittsburgh will get the ball back to begin the second half, early third quarter. They have momentum now with another halftime lead. Do not blow it. They had a halftime lead in the following games. From Green Bay on Sunday night before Halloween. Ended up losing that game. Obviously, beat the Bengals, beat the Ravens in the AFC North over the past month. But they had halftime leads against the Bears and Bills before and after Thanksgiving, and then they ended up losing both of those games. So they got to maintain the momentum they have. I get it's only 7-3. It's a low-scoring defensive shutdown. A lot of punts. But if Pittsburgh can find a running game, work some clock, stop the run, get after Tua. I mean, they already have an interception off of them, but they couldn't capitalize off of it, or else they'd have 3-7 more points on the board than what they do, but they don't. So they're down 3-0, but then they respond and, answer with 7. But, you're going to get the ball back now here, third quarter. Just got to, they haven't won 2 in a row since September, okay? And they won last week. So what's that saying for tonight? But once again, Miami from 2-7 to 6-7 on a 4-game winning streak, as it's very cold. They've been one of the hottest teams in the NFL. The Dolphins have still lost 13 straight games when the temperature's been below 40 degrees. And it's like 15, 20 degrees here tonight. And the Steelers have won 22 straight home Monday Night Football games. They have not lost at home on Monday Night Football since 1991. So, just obviously stats, history, everything's on the black and gold side, but obviously this game still has to be played, and execution is top priority. Neither of these offenses have done a hell of a lot. I mean, stat-wise, yeah, it's starting to add up a little bit, but there's been, 2 big plays? Miami on the first play of the game, 120. Rodgers found Metcalf over the middle at midfield for a first down, but that was the drive they were trying to answer, capitalize off the turnover, didn't get anything out of it because he took the sack on third down, and they got out of field goal range then, or else he would have had a field goal attempt at least on that drive. Could have been up 3-0, not down 3-0, and then tied at 3, and then maybe, up 6-3, up 10-3 here at halftime, still get the ball back. I mean, they could still do some damage, and go drive and score early third quarter for all we know coming up. Still be one score with a field goal at 10-3, but if you can go drive and work some clock and score a touchdown, go 14-3, has 2 scores, 11 points, pressure's on Miami to do something, and, relatively quick. Not saying they can't, it's just, once again, neither of these offenses have done a hell of a lot tonight, because credit to the defenses, they've been making stops, bending but not breaking, so it's coming down to a few plays, here and there. Obviously, football is a game of inches, as we all know, but halftime here, get back to it in about 10-15 minutes or so. Just once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media, but just Pittsburgh's got to take care of business. If they do here tonight, you'll have 2 of your last 3 against division rivals in the Browns and Ravens in Week 18. They'll go to Detroit on Sunday afternoon. I'll have more coverage then, so be sure to tune back in. But, as Pittsburgh's 7-6, Miami's 6-7, both these teams are, in the playoff picture. Pittsburgh obviously the 4 seed, Miami on the outside looking in, currently in the hunt. They're still technically in duration, but they need to basically win out, have a team or 2 lose out or lose 2 of their next, 3 games, just to say maybe yes, at that rate, you get in. So, I mean, really what Miami's doing, even though they're on a winning streak, is playing spoiler for, who they play down the stretch. As Boomer will give us some updates, some highlights from this Week 15. We'll recap that in a minute, preview Week 16 as well. We'll get to the stats and scores with a Steelers 7-3 lead here 30 minutes in. But, Pittsburgh's trying to win at home for the first time in a month, and they're going to win